Hello, guys. We're back a little quicker this week as there was midweek football. Welcome to episode 17 Liverpool Newcastle Premier League Classic. Cheers, Arjun.
Cheers. And then it was 7. How do you feel about that game, Samarth?
Man, that was an absolute thriller, so end to end. The manner in which we ended up drawing the game obviously hurts, and we'll get to that. But just the overall feel of the game, both teams just out there to get each other cutthroat end to end football, Premier League football at its finest, like especially for a neutral, can't take your eyes off of that game. Just incredible entertainment. And Newcastle really showed up. I think the first half, especially, I don't think I've been in a place as a Liverpool fan where I was like this season where okay, let's get to first half. I just wanted to end this at 1-0, So Newcastle really had us by the scruff. Isak with a very well taken first goal. Just the overall play as well, the midfielder to move away from I think it was Gravenberch, and then play that ball into Isak, first touch away from Van Dijk, and boom. That
Near
also
post, Kelleher was beaten.
near post Kelleher was beaten. That's what I was just going to come to. Kelleher, just starting with the first, it was not top bins. I think it could have been
Yeah.
saved, but take nothing away from the power of that strike. I think they were brilliant. Even after that, a Joe Gomez mistake that led Anthony Gordon in for 1-1, which he
Yeah.
did end up saving. So Newcastle could have actually, been 2-0 up in the first half itself. Liverpool took
Yep.
their time to get into the game. And yeah, you have anything to say on the first goal?
I think Newcastle were just completely on Liverpool, which
Yeah,
honestly did not surprise me because I know Liverpool have been playing well, but Newcastle at home are always a difficult
very
team.
difficult, very
So it's
difficult.
not, I don't think Liverpool and Liverpool fans should feel ashamed at not being the better team in the first half at least.
Yeah,
And then it was a fair scoreline, at least as you said, should have been more. But Newcastle were just like full of energy, you know. Um, I don't think Liverpool could have done anything more. They were passengers for a huge part of that first half. But again, man, what a strike! Isaac seems like a complete player.
complete package, 100%.
And sometimes number nines, you look at him and you feel like he's a pace merchant, or you look at him and you feel, oh, he just runs behind like the last defender. But the guy has physicality, hold up play. What a strike! Like, and I think Kelleher,
Amazing
honestly, he was
finish
just
as well.
surprised. He was just surprised.
Yeah,
Like,
by the sheer power of that strike, I think.
and honestly, I had huge doubts when they paid so much money for him.
Yeah.
But I think they can like 2x their investment on Isaac. He's just like amazing player.
I mean, his IQ as well, right? It's also
Yeah.
more than the physical traits. He knows when to make the run. He knows how to pull away from the defender. He's a very smart number nine. But then coming to the second half, I think Liverpool were completely resurgent. That quick Curtis Jones goal, very well taken, first time finish. That caught me by surprise completely. Salah assist once again, and just speaking of the man, just took the game by it's like a Gordon goal again. Let's cover that first. 2-1 by Anthony Gordon. Just completely outdid Joe Gomez, and even the
Yeah.
second goal that was very savable by Kelleher. It's literally hit his hand and gone inside the goal. Again, I don't want to be too harsh on the
It's
guy
a bit
because
harsh, yeah.
he's stepped up enough this season where I'm happy all the
Yeah.
issues came in one game. And
Mm,
he's been our savior for like months now that Allison has not been there. But in my opinion, Joe Gomez should be doing better now with
true.
Ibrahima Konate out, and again Jarell Kwanzaa as well for all his plaudits that he received coming on at City. I think he was very dreadful this game at Newcastle, and just the overall back four did not work well, especially that right hand side with Kwanzaa and Gomez, which Gordon made the most of.
I think
Joe
um,
Gomez.
by Gomez in that sequence, and he was sat down by Gordon. Gordon cut, and then it's very difficult for the keeper to save it. So I understand like
It's
I
more
think
on
I was
Gomez. It's
it's
definitely
more
more
on
on
Gomez
Gomez.
than Kelleher. Like I
Definitely.
think he did a great job to get his hand to the ball, Of course, once you get it, it's like, you should have saved it. I completely get that.
Fair enough. But then this is Slot's ruthlessness again. He saw the problem with Gomez. He, subbed him off. We got Trent in and Szoboszlai in, and what a difference it made. Especially Trent
Huge.
coming in
Yeah.
and, first right from the get go in his, like, I think the first 5 minutes he was on the pitch, we got that assist. Mo Salah, a brilliant first time finish on his weaker foot to get us back in the game. And then after that, it was all about the Mo Salah show. The one dribble where he hit the post, like,
Yeah.
what a chance. And just a couple minutes later, Trent passed to Salah again on the turn, 3-2 to Liverpool. Best player in the world right now, just taking games by the scruff of the neck and winning them, in this, like, or at least putting Liverpool in the winning positions.
When he hit that post, and he just ran through the entire team, like, and he hit that
Yeah.
post, you could just see him, like, and it just looked like, okay, when is it going to be 3-2, and when is Salah going to score? It was never in doubt. Like, when I was watching the game and I saw Salah, like, get the ball, I just knew it was like, I was like, no, man, not again. Like, not again. They come back and they win 3-2 away from home in a game where they should have kind of lost points. So I
But
was,
it's a couple occasions, right? Even the Brighton game, like, when we were 1-0 down for the longest time, and in 2 minutes we scored two goals with Salah scoring that beauty, turning in on his left. This is a man that's determined to do anything to win. You can see that fire in him, that he does not care how the team's playing. He just wants to win. And we could have had that. We were so close to having that. And even though a 3-3, a draw for Newcastle seems like the right result, just the way it happened with Kelleher forgetting to catch the ball is just extremely sad. And Newcastle come back right at the very end with a brilliant finish by Shar.
great finish. Great
Very, like,
finish.
very
Great
very
finish.
hard to do that. And Newcastle got the 3-3.
Yeah. And I think it was honestly well deserved. Uh, like, the
Yeah.
result, as a Liverpool fan, like, I know Liverpool were really, like, brilliant in large periods of that second half. They blew Newcastle away. But at the same time, Newcastle also had their chances. And at the end, like, in my mind, it's also 1 point gained for Liverpool, because Newcastle is not a very
An
easy place to
easy
go
play.
and
There's
visit
worse places to lose points.
to lose.
Yeah, and
And
the one player that we've not touched on, the player that is the biggest loser in this game for me, and we spoke about a number nine in Isak, who's, with the mental IQ, with the physical traits, and Darwin Nunez now again. It's these games where he has just been so poor. And even in terms of his 2 yard passes, like, even if you actually see the second Salah goal that starts with a Darwin Nunez clip, a simple 5 yard pass to Szoboszlai, or which he cannot make, even certain runs, or even like the Gakpo chance where he was 1 centimeter away from goal, Gakpo put it in and he's missed that ball, or even like taking a shot that goes near the corner post when you are literally standing right in front of goal, like from your number nine, like two goals in the Premier League season, about 13, 14 games in, is just not good enough. And we spoke about injuries in the last podcast itself, and Allison, Konate, Jota, they're all starting to show in this game that, like, if this was Jota, they were going to be put away, and it just really hurt Liverpool.
so I think you're right. Like, Darwin Nunez, like, got a lot of headlines for that 2 yard miss or whatever. Like, but I think another player who I want to highlight positively is Gakpo. I think he's been playing very
Oh, he's
well
been
in the
playing good.
last
Yeah.
month. I think
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
every time Liverpool were in trouble, he's the one who stood up.
But yeah, as you said, basically you can look at it. I can look at it as 2 points dropped, or from your perspective, a point gain for Liverpool. Bottom line is it's 7 points now, and cut to Arsenal. Big game against Man United, and a big composed victory as well. And what are your thoughts on the 2-0?
Man United came to park the bus. They did not come to win the game. They had, what, 6, 7 defenders on the pitch. And then it's also about how do you win those games, right? Like, Arsenal did not create anything. United didn't create anything in the first half. It was a snooze fest. Like, I was watching Liverpool, Newcastle that first half. Like, everything was in the middle half of the pitch. And I was a bit concerned when I saw the lineup, because three out of the back four were not playing. Like their first choice back four were not playing. Zinchenko was
Yeah.
playing, which is always worrying. So yeah, it's just a bit concerning. Kivior has been a bit off pace, especially when playing
Hmm.
left back, but his natural position is left centre back. Um, and he really stood out. Flawless performance. He put like Hoyland in his pocket. Hoyland couldn't really do much when Rashford came on. He like was one on one like against Rashford in a foot race. A lot of plaudits
Yeah.
would go to Saliba, who was again shithouse for how he scored that goal.
Mhm.
But again, I think Kivior had a very good performance. It was a game of two halves a little bit. The first half was very drab. There was actually nothing to talk and write home about.
Much. Yeah. Exactly.
I actually think in this game, United had a tactical fault. They bought on Diallo, and as good as Diallo was in the second half, it caused them to switch system from back three to a back four, and
Hmm.
that basically gave Arsenal more chances, like during the second half. And Arsenal didn't score from open play, but the amount of
Yeah.
chances that were created, uh, it resulted in pressure. It resulted in Man United not even getting out of their half basically for this whole of the second half. And I think sure there was one instance where Diallo beat Zinchenko, but that was it.
Yeah,
Not
it was
really
like the
much else.
one Dillet header with a fantastic save by Raya. But even in terms
Right.
of Arsenal's, though, there was nothing created from open play. It was again the way Man United had set up. It was entirely from the corners, and every chance that you see, whether it was one Martinelli shot that went above the post, or one of the Partey headers at the very start of the game, or the two goals eventually, like everything was created basically from the corners, and Arsenal have gotten this masterclass in the corners right now. Like you've seen them again and again throughout the season, scoring these goals from the corners. But do you think that's sustainable?
So I was actually thinking about this, right? And I did some research onto this to see if it's a fluke or if Arsenal are getting here.
It's not a
And
fluke,
that's
it's
that's
very
my
tactical.
sure. But so when you say is it sustainable, I always see, okay, is it a purple patch that Arsenal are doing well in, and when they're not able to score, our corners bailing them out? I think you need to have that complete game. When Odegaard was out injured, Arsenal basically relied on set pieces for all their goals. And if Arsenal
Yeah.
didn't score from a set piece, it was a bonus, right?
Hmm.
And I do not like that because it was very like boring to watch. But at the same time, I think if you want to be champions in the Premier League, you need to find ways to win. And
That's true.
today in the Premier League, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City are three out of the top four teams who have scored from corner kicks.
Yeah.
So I think you
Fair
also
enough.
see that reflected in the table.
As you said, right at the end of the day, you got to grind out the win, and that's what
Yeah.
Arsenal did against a tough United block. But a team that you didn't mention, though, in the three, which is actually technically second now, going to Chelsea. Chelsea were all guns blazing with the 5-1 victory against Southampton.
Yeah, they have it in their locker. Like, to be very honest, I didn't watch that Chelsea game because I was watching the Arsenal and Liverpool games.
Fair
But
enough.
outside, like, just looking at a result, right? They have it in them to go away from home and score five. Now you have like five different goal scorers. Jadon Sancho scoring. Like,
Yeah.
he genuinely feels at home. Like, you just look at his Instagram after the game, everyone's just congratulating him. It just feels like a very feel good factor about Chelsea. And now they're second on goal difference, as you said. So I think that's great for them. They're overperforming compared to what I think both of us felt they
Are you
would. I mean,
starting to see them as a threat a little bit, like in terms of that second spot?
no.
Like, or your eyes are still on Liverpool or maybe City down there to catch up?
Yeah, I think it's still Arsenal,
Liverpool,
Liverpool,
City.
Man City, because I think the worry is, and you touched upon City, right? Like City have beaten Nottingham 3-0, which seems like a normal result on any other day. But my concern is the minute they figure out how to start winning with their team, they go 20
Yeah.
unbeaten,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
then it's
And I
just
mean,
City's league.
now, but yeah, man, as you said, like they just beat an informed Nottingham side now 3-0. And City are just so scary, man. No matter how down they go, you just know something's going to happen. And but let's hope that this victory is a blip and not the defeats.
bro. Bro, the thing is, it's start of December. It's a busy period, and now they're clicking. Like it's just like
Yeah.
it's just scary, bro. Like I don't want, like honestly, if Liverpool win every game from now until like January, fine, fair play. I feel like Arsenal can still compete in January. If City win, I'm like five in a
Lol.
row. Great job. Let's focus on Champions League, FA Cup, whatever. you know. But honestly, on Arsenal there, I think Arsenal fans who are listening would probably like be raging in the comments if I didn't mention two players who stood out. Uh,
Yeah.
Urian Timber, absolutely brilliant game. Like he's been recovering from an ACL, or he has had an ACL the whole of last season. And honestly, I've been thinking of players who have come back in and who have performed this way. I just don't remember someone every 3 days putting in a shift, really, really high quality. Okay, he got a goal, so a lot of plaudits, but man, he just ran
Just
through that right side of the
defensively,
pitch. And
for
then he
sure.
switched to the left side also, and attackingly, the minute like Zinchenko was on a yellow, like Partey filled in at right back and switched in. That also shows the versatility, and it just was really complete. And when that switch happened, Mikel Merino again came on the pitch, controlled with Rice, who had a very, very quiet game. And those two
Yeah.
in midfield had a very underrated game, but again, very, very good performance to close out that game. It wasn't a pretty win by Arsenal, but a win
It was
against
a
Man
win.
United for Arsenal fans is always
And
special,
four
right?
consecutive now, four consecutive in the last 2 years. So that's a sign of great progress.
True.
Um,
Arsenal have not
but
lost against the big six in like over the lowest over like 600, 700 days, which is Man
which
City,
is
which is
which is
already like
amazing.
crazy, crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing. But talking of a team that has no consistency whatsoever, I'll give you three fixtures. You tell me which game you think they got points from. Man City, Fulham, and Bournemouth. It's Man City, and that just sums up Tottenham, right? Like what a team. Bournemouth.
It is
But
hilarious.
yeah,
Bro, I had no idea with all this going on with like the top half of the table that Steve Cooper got sacked at Leicester. Absolutely no idea. And
yeah,
then Van Nistelrooy
Van
got
Nistelrooy.
appointed.
Yeah, he trashed
No
he
idea.
trashed Leicester with United, and then that week became the Leicester manager.
Was he the Leicester manager?
No, I'm
Oh
saying
no, he
as
was
United
at United.
manager,
Right, 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 right.
as
True, true,
United
true.
manager, he
True.
beat Leicester, and then he went on to become Leicester manager.
Right.
But
I
yeah,
didn't even, it's such a random appointment, man. But he's a good coach.
but yeah, I think that's it for this episode. I think we've covered all of it. Tomorrow, now Liverpool are facing Everton, which is Everton away, that are going to play this game like a final. Do anything to stop Liverpool from
The
winning
last
the title.
Merseyside derby at Goodison Park, right?
Yeah, that's true. Hopefully, I mean, let's see now how it goes with Stanley Park, but supposed to be, yes.
Yeah, and I
So
think
big
there's what
games.
Spurs Chelsea also this week
Yep,
on Sunday.
yep. Another London derby. So
Yeah.
exciting times to look forward to, and we'll catch you guys next week.